All right, friends. Once a month, we are lucky to have the ever debonair, the adorable, the fabulous, and whatever else you wanted me to say about you today, Mr. Brian Johnson of Valley Mortgage. Today's show sponsor as well. Good morning, BJ.
Good morning, Eric.
We got to spend last weekend together with some friends at the lake. What did you learn about me over that weekend?
You play whatever that one game was.
Yeah, it was like
exquisitely.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, it was just a yard game where you're throwing softballs into a bucket, and it kept us entertained for hours.
It did.
Yeah,
for a couple of days.
That's right. Give me.
I think you're the reigning champion.
I hope so.
Yeah.
Give me a cardboard box and I'll be entertained for hours as well. Yeah, just like a simple kid. Brian Johnson of Valley Mortgage. For people who don't know, you give us an insight to you and what it is that you do.
Sure. Well, we're a local mortgage banker. We serve all of Minnesota and North Dakota. We've been around since 1983. Our staff has been in the mortgage industry for many, many years. So I've been in the mortgage industry 15 years myself, back in Fargo-Moorhead for 11 years. So,
product of the University of Minnesota, correct?
Yes.
All right.
Correct.
How does your football team look this year?
I don't even know. I never went to
maroon is the
football
answer.
game.
Yeah,
exactly. Maroon and white.
BJ, we're throwing you under the bus right away
You
with
are.
your sports knowledge. It's great. I want to talk specifically, though, because I was talking with a pretty well-known builder in the area, and he made a statement, and it was the first time I heard the statement, but he said there's an 85% chance that in Q4 of this year, we're going to see rates increase. Have you heard that?
I have not heard that. I think it's trending to be that. They've been saying that all year long, of course.
They've been saying that for like 5 years.
Right. The Fed's got to do something, and I think they thought that finally in September they're going to draw back some of their mortgage-backed security purchases, which would drive interest rates up. So we'll see what happens here in a couple weeks. If the Fed does that, then you could see rates start to increase a little bit. It could be 0.25%, could be 0.5%. Mm-hmm. We just don't know. I think it'll be slow and steady. I don't think there will be a huge increase like everyone's expecting. But
so I have two questions. The first is around the recent hurricane and the disaster down in Texas that's happening. Does that impact anything with interest rates when there's a major national disaster like that?
That hasn't, no. Actually, the North Korea information that came out, that actually made interest rates go down a little bit just because of the uncertainty. So we did see rates last week go down slightly, only about 0.1% or so.
Sure. Is it common to say that when crisis happens, it's to the advantage of the home buyer?
I guess that's one way to put
it.
Sure,
it's a dark way to look at that.
It's an interesting world now versus what it was 10 or 15 or 20 years ago in the way that the markets are affecting interest rates, both in the stock market. World markets now are directly tied to our interest rates. So, yes, when you have big major catastrophes that happen, it does affect interest rates for the very, very short term. Overall, though, things are pretty smooth and steady, and we've kind of been pretty flat for the last couple of years. So,
which is a safe way to have your money invested.
It is, yes.
Yeah. Again, those of you just tuning in, Brian Johnson with Valley Mortgage joining us. And BJ, I had made a comment at the top of the hour here about how we have local news and national news, and how I encourage people to pay attention more to local things that are happening than national. The story was this, that they said that on a national level, their houses are skyrocketing in price and that there's very much a housing shortage, where locally that's not our story anymore. In the mortgage industry, is there a difference between local and national news in terms of what impacts interest rates and loan availability?
Not necessarily. I mean, interest rates are set overall as a national, so on the national level it's not,
so we can't be healthier in the Red River Valley and have that impact our interest rate. Is that right?
Correct. Exactly. The interest rates are all set by whatever is trading on Wall Street for mortgage-backed securities. So whatever happens in Fargo or in Minneapolis or Chicago, it doesn't affect interest rates here specifically. So as an overall national average, interest rates are about the same. They do fluctuate slightly in certain states because of how loans are paid off.
Okay.
So, for instance, there's fewer loans in North Dakota than there are in Minnesota.
Sure.
So interest rates in North Dakota very minute, and generally customers won't even ever notice it, but there's a slight difference on what banks get for loans in North Dakota versus Minnesota or California, for example.
But you back at the nerdery are able to pick up on those slight differences. Is that right?
Exactly.
That's fun, BJ. I want to ask this question. Right now, if somebody is a home buyer, what is something that they should know about getting a mortgage, getting a loan, getting pre-approved, all that? What are the steps they need to take, or what are the things they need to know in order to help these dominoes fall and help them get a win?
Sure. My biggest piece of advice is to start early in the process. So if you're 6 months out or a year out, even longer, start the process, get all your information in order.
So you're saying if somebody's not going to move for 12 months, they should already start talking to you?
I would suggest that, because we're going to be able to offer some advice on things you can do to make sure you're in the best possible financial situation to get the best loan possible. So,
and there's no financial commitment on the end of a home buyer to talk to you, right?
Correct. Yep. We offer free pre-approvals. We do free credit reports and credit counseling with people to make sure that they've got the best possible financial outlook.
Finally, my wife and I just refinanced on our house, and we were fortunate enough to work with Valley Mortgage on that. And our credit scores came, BJ, and my wife had a higher credit score than me. And
that's pretty common. I see that a lot.
And I want to know why. I mean, she beat me by like 10 points.
Does your wife pay the bills?
No, I do.
You do, huh?
I do. Why is this?
I don't know. She must have, I don't know, less credit, less scorecards, or more.
Dang it, BJ.
Maybe she uses her store cards more than you do.
Oh, you're killing me, Smalls. All I want to know is how I can get my credit score higher than my wife's.
People that have the best credit scores pay their bills as soon as they're due.
Mm-hmm. And I do?
Yep.
You're making me sound like I don't.
As soon as they get the bill, I'm sorry.
Okay.
Rather than the day they're due. And then that have good use of revolving credit, so credit cards, using them, paying them off every month.
That's where my wife wins.
Yeah.
Oh, I feel uncomfortable right now.
You brought it up.
Yes, I did. BJ, how can people get in contact with you if they do want to start this process, even if they're up to a year out?
Sure. Give us a call, 701-461-8450. Visit us online at valleymortgageinc.com or stop by and see us at 3315 45th Street South.
Oh, sounds so nice. Brian Johnson with Valley Mortgage. Folks, in the meantime, we're going to break. Head to livefargomoorhead.com and find out what your home is worth. This is Real Estate Radio with Erik Hatch.